It's all for you. Yeah, yo. There whenever it matters, and even more when you feel like it doesn't. Protect you so you never feel like you wasn't. Know I'm right alongside you. Either that or I'm behind you, but always got you. End the discussion, nothing means more. First one to offer is shoulders for what you reach for. Thought I saw the eyes of the world until I seen yours. And know that I ain't see a better view yet. I'm with whatever, so don't ever you fret. Know that you covered, not a hurdle or a heartbreak. A change what a partake, cause none of them won't ever get comfortable in your walkway. My job is to aware you, fully loaded, prepare you for all of the above that I'm never letting get near you. But still in all, give you every advantage I found. Couldn't find a better fit for them, along with my crown. And since the baton was passed, I've been down. Cause failing's not an option, and dad is not a noun, not at all.
We're good, we're good. What's been up with you?
I'm good, man. Just grinding as always, man. Just trying to, put dad is not a noun to the people,
Yeah.
Do things like this to, have a great conversation on topics that's important to us. And then also, step out of the box when it comes to train of thoughts, And I always have those moments when I'm thinking about a bunch of stuff when I look at your artwork.
Yeah.
Like
that's the plan though. As long as it's actually, invoking thought, then I've succeeded in my plans.
And you know how my brain works, man. I'm like 30 things at one time. And when I saw that second Swaptober of your version of the different world, I'm like, this is dope. And I got to have a conversation about this because, that brought some kind of nostalgia to me of the 90s, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's why we are here today.
Yeah, definitely.
So before we get into that conversation, tell me about why Swap October is important to you, because this is like what, your third, fourth year doing this, right?
Yeah, Swaptober was my answer to Inktober, which is simply put, man, I didn't feel like inking for 30 days, and I was like, it's an art challenge, and I don't want to challenge myself to inking right now. I said, what would be actually more fun? I'm a character designer by trade, so I'm like, I would be more entertained by redesigning or coming up with alternate versions of characters. And it's from the rule. It's called Rule 63, where it's actually an internet meme, is where it comes from. That if there is a Rule 63, which it's a rule that states for every given female character, there is a male version of that character and vice versa. So I was just like, that seems like more of a thought-provoking. I'm not engaged if I'm just, and not to say that some of the Inktober stuff, they have challenges and all that where they tell you what to draw genre-wise. So draw something that's dealing with dripping. And I'm like, okay, I mean, that's a challenge, I guess. But I want to just do what I want to do. So I was like, why not just make something unique of my own, thoughts? And that's where Swaptober came up. I think it started in 2015,
Wow.
2016, maybe 2016. I think it's been at least 3 years, at least.
And what was the first character swap that you do, and why?
That was actually Miles Morales. Miles Morales was the first. There was a young cosplayer, and I saw a photo of her, and she had these she had this flowy curly hair, and she had blue tips, but she had Miles Morales color suit on, and I'm like, that's dope. That's so technically it was already swapped for me. But I'm like, let me draw a version of that. So I think that was the first one. And I want to say maybe, what's the homie from The Incredibles? Frozone. Frozone was, I think, the second. So, it's been going down. I got to get online. Let me see. I can probably look and see what year that was. Let me see what year that was. Those were the first two. And then I did like Spawn and Blade came after that, and just kept going, man. So
So out of the ones that you've created so far through the many years, which one would you say gave you the most buzz? Like which one was the one where that hit everybody's radar that like, oh, this dude is can't mess with this dude.
honestly, I think the Blade started the buzz for it. I think the Blade literally people were like, wait, he's not playing. This is some dope artwork, or the quality of it. I wanted people to take me seriously, so I was just like, well, I ain't playing. Hold on now, you think I'm joking around? Hold on, let me see what happens. And so I put a lot of work into the Blade one and the Spawn one, just to show people, it was a real challenge. Like I wanted the quality to speak to say, I'm committed to this challenge. I'm committed to the art and the fidelity of it. Yeah, I'm all the way back. Yep, 2015.
Wow.
2015, and a lot of them were sketches, and I treated them as warm-ups. I treated them as, yeah, I'm looking at it now. So we had Miles Morales, Spawn, Blade, Frozone, and then I just started going from every genre. I jumped off of comics and went to Street Fighter, so I did Ryu, sorry, for
Get
the
that right, 'cause you're gonna have
aficionados.
a lot
Yeah,
of people
Ryu.
fight you for that. You gotta say that name right.
Yo,
People are
why you
curious
say
about that Street
Ryu
Fighter.
like that? Yeah, man. So I was jumping through video games and comics, and I did Skeletor, Swap. I did RoboCop, um, all
Are
kinds of
you
stuff. So I
able
was,
to show one of them to the people out there that's watching, or you can't? Like
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I got it's. I got a whole Instagram page for it, actually.
the
So that
one
was
one person, Miss 23 said it was supernatural for me.
well, I didn't swap Supernatural yet, but I've been told I need to hurry up and do it, but I'm like, I don't want to confuse people now. Um, Let me see. So this is the Instagram page for it. Let me see if I get the glare off of there. So as we go back through the years, man, I'm talking. I
You
now
got a
honestly,
catalog.
yeah, I did not do. So if you go to Swaptober Art Challenge, it's backwards. But yeah, these are some of the first ones right down here. So let's
That's
me see that.
amazing work, man.
Yeah, Miles Morales, Spawn. I got that Blade. That Blade is what I think got the most
Yeah,
traction.
man, that's
Let me
dope,
show you.
man. That is fire right there, man.
Yeah, and people was like, "Wait a minute, yo!" I'm like, "Well, this is for Swaptober. You don't know what that is?" They're like, no. So yeah, this is where I was just going through, and that's that Frozone, and I
Yes.
was just having fun, man. It was just this is I'm as a character designer, I was like, this is way more fun. So
No, no.
female
Definitely,
apocalypse,
man.
cat man and Batwoman,
I like that. That's dope.
uh, but literally ghosts and goblins.
I love it, man.
These is the stuff where I was like, man, Red Monica from Battle Chasers, of course,
You
had
know,
Blue
one of
Sonic
my
in there.
favorite ones that you did, I don't know if it's still on there, is the one you did the X-Men one with what's that? I'm trying to think of that character. The I think it was Wolverine's nemesis. What's his name? The
Oh,
Russian dude in red.
yeah, yeah, Omega Red.
Omega Red. There you go. Somebody
Yep,
was gonna
right
beat me
here.
up if I didn't get that name right. Yes, that was one of my
Omega
favorites.
Red.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was my
yeah.
favorite.
And what people still don't get, when I say a lot of these were sketches, man. If I zoom in, or if you really see the work, these were sketches. I just colored the sketches,
That's
and
amazing.
that's what allowed me to, be creative and quick with it. And people was like, "You don't sleep, do you?" I was like, "Nah, this took an hour and a half, man. I didn't clean up the line art, so I'm literally just coloring the sketches, when I'm doing these." And people was like, "Yo, that's so clean." I was like, "Zoom in, it's sketches, Brad." I didn't, I did not clean up. I didn't clean up the line art, so it made it really, really quick.
But it
So
but
yeah,
it shows that you're a master at your craft, and that took a long time for you to get to where you're at, and you're still, you're still learning. Yeah, but
I'm
remember
still
that when
learning.
it's back
I'm
together.
still,
Yes,
yeah, still learning. Constantly, I'm learning color, painting right now, digital painting, and using different tools. Man, Procreate is a whole new tool for me, in terms of that interface. I know how to use Photoshop. I know how to use Paint Tool Sai, things like that. So, you know, this one, beautiful cosplayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, her Instagram is Brown Legs. She did a cosplay based on this, and I'm like, you better stop all that cool stuff.
Mm.
You know, but she did a great job with it, man. That's cool. The cool part
Yes.
is when it touches people. Sophia, you know, Cyborg as a, but that's where I was like, yeah, I love doing this. This is fun for me. It doesn't feel like a chore, and I'm still practicing creativity. I'm still engaged in drawing something every day. So this rogue caused problems for a lot of people. They go, yeah, I need it. I need that one. Like, okay, okay.
But also real fast too. Have you got any backlash for doing the gender swap? Because you know you have a lot of people that's original to like characters. Like I don't want to see like a woman version of Wolverine, or I don't want to
No.
see a woman version of
Well,
Cyclops.
right, because no, I haven't. Because you know, the Dora Milaje is a good example. The Dora
Yep.
Milaje in comics is an all-female, you
Yep.
know, guard
Yep.
for Black Panther,
Yep.
and I'm like, it doesn't matter. In alternate reality, it
Yes.
can be completely the reverse. So it's not. They're not occupying the same space. They're literally alternate reality. So it's if as long as you apply enough creativity, enough imagination, there's no such thing as, yo, I'm offended by, you know, this alternate reality version. Oh man, my iPad is doing stuff. Hold on. Yeah. So it should never really get to that point. The Sailor Moon
Yeah.
joint.
I love that.
I was like, as soon as I thought of it, I'm like, I don't even remember watching all of Sailor Moon, but this makes sense to me. And people saw it and was like, that's dope. That's cool because you know they're sailors
Yes.
and it makes sense. But that's where I think the fun, and I don't have to really come up with a big story or anything like that. This is just as soon as I think of it, it makes sense. It makes sense to see it.
Yes. I love it. I love it.
So
That should be a character on the Miles
right,
Morales
I would
Spider-Man.
look. I'd play it. I would play it
Right?
too.
Would you?
Yeah, man. But that's the fun of it. That's where I'm like, yo, this is another. That's when I was playing the actual game,
Yes.
the PS4 Spider-Man game. I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'm just rocking it out.
So
So
did you do
all that
you
stuff.
pre-ordered your PS5?
No. I'm gonna see if I learned anything about first generation adopters, man. I'm like, I've learned my lesson now. I'm gonna just wait until they get all the stuff out, bugs. I can't even play video games like normal people right now, so it's all good.
Nah, man, because you got a lot of work, man. You got people coming at you left and right for projects. So your
Right, right,
workload is
right.
ridiculous, crazy, man.
I resent anybody that gets to play it right now, but
Right.
that's okay. But yeah, man, that's where. So now it's like you know, this year I'm actually behind schedule, but I want to let people know these are coming
Still
out. These
on
definitely
popping,
gonna
man.
come out.
Still on and popping, man.
These are coming out as soon. I got them in my head, but I'm like, you know, I need to marinate on them. Some of them I'm like, nah, I can get more John Blaze than that. Let me just go back to the drawing board because I already have, you know, two of these characters. I have Hillary
Oh, nice.
from Fresh Prince.
I
I
know you
already
got to have
have,
Carlton.
yeah, I got Carlton in there. I got Freddie from a
Nice.
different world. I got a couple more characters from these. So it's you know, they're in there. They're in there. I just want, you know, I got to make sure they John Blaze.
They
Can't come
always
in,
down
can't.
Blaze, man, because you're always a perfectionist when it comes to it, man.
It's just me having fun, man. That's where I'm pushing myself. It is an art challenge,
Right.
so I take it as that. So
All right, can you
yeah.
bring up that different world, alternative world?
Oh
Because
yeah.
I think that's
Oh
the
yeah.
reason why we having this discussion. And I
Yeah.
love that. And like, what was the thought process of doing that gender swap of those two
Yeah.
important characters of a different
Why is it
world?
doing it? I don't know why it's doing that. Um, no, well, this year, so every year I try to dip into some things that I haven't done before. So I don't think I've really focused on TV shows as much.
Right.
In the past, I've done movies. I've done some movies before, Coming to America, Freddy Krueger, let me see, The Avengers, obviously, but where is that Coming to America joint? Yeah. So I've done live action stuff before, but I haven't focused on TV shows. So I'm going back through, of course, my era, 90s and such, and I'm just trying to go back through. These are some of the other movies. So you got, Show Enough,
Yeah. Yep.
And let me see, that's video games. I had to have Bruce Leroy in there.
Facts.
So, I've done movies. So that's where A Different World came in. I started with the first one I did was with the new Lovecraft Country.
Right.
These shows. So I'm like, okay, what's hitting right now? I'm watching that right now, Lovecraft Country. So I watched Watchmen, and then I'm like, okay, well, hold on now. Let me go back to before streaming services and see what I can pull out. So that's where really I'm like, oh, of course. And if it resonates with people, man, it makes sense to do work that resonates and touches people, and the fanship around some of these shows makes sense. So if I'm going back, like I got Steve Urkel, I don't want to give spoilers there.
No. Just show it to the people. Just show it to the people. Just drop it like a mixtape.
Right. So, Family Matters was a great show. There's so many great shows. So I'm like, if I can target some of the television shows that really impacted me as a young person, and still do, that'll be a new kind of take. And someone instantly that has been following my work for all these years was like, yo, it's such a great choice to go leave the comics in the sci-fi, try to do some television stuff, live action stuff. He was like, this is brilliant. I can't wait to join and, do some of the shows that I loved. I'm like, cool. So, but it's a lot, man. It's a lot.
No, it is. But the beauty of it, because, we live in a COVID world right now. And right now, I think right now it's big as nostalgia. I think a lot of people want to live back into their childhood or their teenage years. And one of mine is that early, like I was said, that early 90s vibe of you had Cosby Show, and then you had Different World that came in, which kind of embraced going to HBCUs. Like you've seen cats rocking Grambling shirts that never went to Grambling. But it showed that embrace of affirmation. And so when I saw that artwork of yours, it kind of brought me back to that feeling. Did that kind of bring you that feeling when you start bringing it together a little bit?
Yeah, because I went on Google, man, and I started just looking up pictures to work from. When I'm I guess redesigning a character that's based on a real life character, I usually tend to look for reference. So in my search for reference for Dwayne Wayne and Whitley, of course I got into YouTube videos, and I'm looking back and 2 hours later I didn't watch about every clip you can find on A Different World. I'm looking at all the intro, the different intro songs, and I'm like, that was a good one. So, but yeah, it's almost, I think the third or fourth season, where they had Boys to Men sing. That had to be the fourth season.
Yeah.
Boys and Men sang the intro, man. It's all in the intro. It's like you see the college life throughout that introduction, that intro there. And you saw it in the other ones too a little bit. But I remember that one specifically. I think I was older watching that show, and I had seen it all through those years. And I remember that impression, like, oh, okay, cool, college life, and it had them all coming at the end with the graduation hats, throwing them up. That it was throughout the show as well. They had those moments where it was very prevalent in the show. And I watched a YouTube video today that was talking about it. They was like, you couldn't tell me that Hillman University wasn't real.
Right.
I didn't, as a kid, I was like, yeah.
It was real.
Right. So they just did a great job.
For real. Because I was one of the dudes that went onto the website to see went on the internet to see if it was that website for the college.
Right. I want to go to Hillman real quick. But yeah, no, it definitely brought me back those vibes. And listening, just going back and looking at the show,
Yeah.
definitely put me back into the vibes of just what that show made you feel,
Right.
and how well those producers really put that, infused that energy into that show. Because you felt that camaraderie, you felt that air
Yeah.
of belonging in a show
Yeah.
about a college.
Yeah.
And so I was like, wow, you did a good job. I wasn't thinking about college. I definitely wasn't thinking about
Me
college
either.
as a kid,
No.
but it was still, you still felt it. I remember. So
No. It
yeah,
gave you that good feeling, and it's crazy how the seasons change over time. Like the first episode, the first was
yeah.
about Lisa Bonet leaving,
Hmm. Hmm.
going to college, and it was going to be about her. Then things
Right.
happen, and then over time, it's about the main characters eventually became Whitley
And
and
Dwayne. Hmm.
Dwayne. And
Yep.
so you see that transformation, like, oh, are they going to finally get together? Then they get
Right.
together, and then you're like, are they going to get married or you're not? And then you
Right.
remember that classic scene, the wedding scene,
Oh yeah.
when he's like, baby, please, baby, please, baby, please.
Yeah. Right. I'm sorry, Byron. I love her. Yeah, man. Yeah, that was that. That was that. That's that stuff. But they did. I mean, it's like, oh,
And they did it
it's
right.
yeah, they did it really right. So it made me think though. I don't know if they did another show like that. I'm pretty sure it would definitely hit. There's enough support
I totally
with the
agree.
HBCUs now.
Yeah.
If they did it again, it can be a spinoff, different world, whatever you want to call it, generation. I don't know. But no, man, they would have a lot to talk about. There's a
Definitely.
lot of stuff, man.
Definitely.
2020 alone would
By
last for like
itself.
6 seasons.
Yeah, by itself. And like offer 6 seasons by itself, 2020 can.
Exactly, exactly. So, yeah, they would have a lot to talk about, man. Presidential, economy, police
Police brutality.
brutality,
Yep.
protesting,
Mhm.
justice for, and I'm thinking back, and I'm like, they touched on a lot of this
They
stuff,
did.
but it wasn't. I don't think it was as raw
No, it wasn't.
as it can be. Yeah, as it can be
Cause,
today. So,
yeah, because the one thing too is because
yeah,
it was Bill Cosby baby, and he was
right.
all about presentation.
Hmm.
He was all about like telling that message, but not going too far, because he
Right.
wanted to stay that image, that portray that image. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it was a family show. It
Yeah,
was a family show.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but they, Dwayne, I think went to jail that one episode.
Remember?
Talk about racism.
Yep.
I remember specifically the episode. I guess this had to be season 4. Like I
Yep.
said, I remember all these. The episode where he had to go to one of his students' homes,
Yep.
and his father was really abusive, and he was trying to reach out and connect with that student, but his home was toxic.
Yep.
Couldn't break through. Almost got in a fight with the dad and all that stuff. And they still balanced it where it was somehow still funny parts in there, but real situations, man. So it would be crazy. I would watch it because
I would
if
too.
nothing else, man, this new day and age, television now or streaming services now
Yes.
is about shock and awe.
Right. I totally
Yeah,
agree.
if you're not shocking the audience with something that's just blatantly over the top, no one's talking about your show. So
Definitely. And then I don't know for you, but for me, for watching A Different World at an early age, it made me want to understand the history of HBCUs. Oh, you got?
yeah, I'm still here. So whenever someone calls me during this time, hold on.
No, that's cool. I'll wait. It's all good, bro.
Let me see. Okay, I can get this working. Keep talking. Keep talking.
All right, cool. But I don't know for you, but for me, when I was younger, when I was watching A Different World, it made me want to learn about the history of HBCUs and its importance to our culture and just America on a whole, and like understand the importance and how HBCUs played a critical role when it comes to STEM, when it comes to medical, science, everything that you see today. It played a role because of HBCU.
Right. Right. And it's we didn't notice it again, depending on how young we were. watching the Cosby Show, Bill Cosby was, that was his alma mater.
Yeah.
Hillman University. He went to college, became a doctor,
Yeah.
and now I don't know. Was his wife an alma mater?
I
I
think
don't
she
know
was
who
a
she
lawyer.
was. I
I
know,
think
but
she was a lawyer, but I forgot.
did she go to an HBCU though?
But I think she
Can't remember.
did.
I know
Gotta
the
Google that.
dad. Yeah, the dad. Cliff's dad, and they were very, very heavy on the episodes that we talked about their alma mater and how they were, all that stuff. I remember those episodes, but we didn't catch the connection because we didn't see college life in
Yeah.
the Cosby Show. So that was, but it was there. We just, a different world was able to show you that life, that daily, the dorms, eating at the cafeteria on the campus and going to show, doing all that, balancing all of that, and then relationships, and then real world stuff, and then comedy. So no, I think it would be. I don't know why it hasn't come back, honestly, already.
But I think it can, but I think would be dope, like we were talking about in the DMs. I can see
Hmm.
it as an animation. Like I know it sounds crazy,
Yeah,
but I could see it as an extension of the Boondocks. As Riley and Huey gets older and gets ready for
yeah,
college, and they go to a college like Hillman, and they
right.
meet these alternative characters that have the likeness of the different world, and you can create the
Yeah.
stories from that.
See, and I think it can work. Me personally, I say the Boondocks should feature the Huey and Riley as 20 something
Yes, I
because it's
totally
been
agree.
it's been over 10 years. They were
I
10 years
totally
old
agree.
in the cartoon,
Yeah,
but it's been over 10 years, man. So they could easily, start the show with them going into college,
right,
and you're following those exploits. I think that would be perfectly brilliant because Huey was already dealing with non-childish things
I
at 10
totally
years
agree.
old. So with him trying to balance college life and the real world and his family and all of that stuff, I think it would be perfect for that brand. Perfect. But if they did a remake of or a new version of a different world, I think the element of having live action characters, live action actors that weren't like glamorous.
Right,
If you think back to Dwayne Wayne, he looked like a geek.
right. No, no.
That was his role, but he got the girl.
Right, but the one thing too, quick
Yeah.
question, like in the early days, like being a nerd wasn't cool.
Yes. Exactly.
It was fun
Exactly.
about, but nowadays he would be considered like dope now.
He would be normal, quote
Normal, yes,
unquote.
yes,
Uh, and that's what I mean by the live action. I think did a really, really important thing because my middle name is Dwayne. And so I didn't use that throughout school until Dwayne Wayne became popular and such. But seeing a dark skinned, non-pretty boy looking character, reflected me. And I was like, yo,
yeah,
cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got big lips like I got big lips. You got a
right,
nose like seeing that live action character does something I think that animation can't do because they weren't trying to be glamorous. They weren't
right,
trying to show this non-realistic view. They look
right,
like students. They look
right,
like little, so I think that really, really resonated with so many people because, especially when you got to different characters. I don't know anybody that actually resonated with Whitley like, oh, she's like me. But I'm sure someone was out there that was like,
oh
oh,
yeah,
she's just
yeah.
like
We
me.
got some bougie people.
But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They exist in our world. They exist.
they exist. But like Kim,
She
beautiful
was
dark
like that
skinned woman.
cute girl that
Yeah,
everybody wanted to holler at, but they
right.
were afraid because she was just too damn. She was smart, and it
She
was
was.
that. It was that. As men, we kind of fear a smart, intelligent woman, a black woman. You know that
Well,
kind of
society
society as a
tries
whole.
to. Yeah, society tries to put that in our mind
Yeah,
to say, well, if we can't dominate,
yeah,
you're a woman, then you're
yeah.
not doing your job. So society has been traditionally trying to paint that. Unfortunately, it seeps in. Ignorance is really easy to
So
pass
true.
on.
So true.
Not knowing that an intelligent, driven,
Yeah,
passionate
Yes.
woman
Yes.
is exactly what will propel you as a man,
And she
because
was
you need
really,
something to keep
and
you
she was
progressing and pushing.
when she dated Dwayne's friend, she was loyal to Fall because she saw like a
Yeah.
lot of his flaws, but she was still loyal to him because she saw potential in him.
Right. Right. Freddie was a dope to see.
That
Because,
was my crush.
yeah, man, listen, I'm just saying it was just really, really beautiful to see these real people. So I would opt for, if they did a different world, I would opt for a live action new cast. You can bring back Dwayne Wayne, you can bring back Whitley if you want to.
Yeah.
Um, you can definitely do cameos of everybody, but bring a whole new cast and really, really make it feel like a contemporary HBCU. But it can be Hillman. You
Yep.
can actually bring in some other fictional ones. I think the beauty of it now is how technology
So
would
true.
play a big part. Yeah, technology would play a huge part, and how that landscape would work. I would love to see them travel. I can't even remember if they traveled in that show.
I
I
think they
can't
did.
honestly remember.
I
Did
think
they?
they did. I think they did.
I'm trying to remember where they actually went. They must have went somewhere. But having them tackle world issues, not
Yeah.
just local American,
Yeah.
issues. I think that would be beautiful, man. So yeah, I would, if they did it, animated or not. I would love to see it, but I know that live action really hit the same way the Cosby Show was iconic. And just seeing these characters on television, they were, I love Claire as a mom. I was like, I want that to be my mom.
That's right.
I wish my dad. All of that stuff, man. It's just seeing real people does something to our psyche. And seeing those families and seeing those interactions as real.
Yeah.
Uh, I think all of those actors did a phenomenal job, man. Tupac was on there. I remember that. It's just a lot of people,
You
man.
had a lot of cameos on
Yeah,
there, man.
J- that's
That
crazy.
was like I said, that was the show. This was like around a time where I know someone said they would love for you to do a swap October of New York Undercover.
Did they say that? New York
Yeah.
Undercover. I remember that joint. I remember that joint. Yeah. I remember that. Crazy. God, what year was that?
That was 90s too. That was
Sheesh.
mid 90s.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
I remember them days. I remember them days.
Remember
No,
those?
I think the most original one I heard so far was Mantis. Someone's like, "Yo, do a swap of Mantis." I was like, "Wow."
What?
I remember Mantis, man. That was back in the day. The dude in the
For real?
wheelchair.
Yeah, man.
Man, I was like,
Wow.
"Yo, where?" I don't even know who produced that show, who
No,
wrote that show, but I remember that dude. He had a
no.
cybernetic back,
Yep.
suit or whatever, and suddenly he was like Charles Xavier had a super suit.
Yep.
So yeah. And that's the cool thing. That's the cool thing. So I'm like, those are shows from my '90s, man. I'll do it.
All
That's
right,
what's
man.
up.
So you got a
Yeah.
list. You got a list to work on, man.
Oh man, the list is crazy. So that's
October's
where I'm like,
coming.
look, I'm only doing 30, but I need to catch up. So I'm pretty much gonna dump like three a day on y'all and be like, all right, I'm caught up. I'm
And
at
then when they're
what's
done, they're
the
gonna people gonna be able to purchase it on your website, right?
Yeah. The big thing that I've been meaning to do, because Swaptober is, 5 years old now.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of art. It's a lot of art. Now I haven't posted all of them on my website. I have a few, but I want to create. I need to literally create its own page. It's too much to put in my poster section.
Right.
Like if I would have to put a few and then click see more,
Right.
and I need to create a whole page just for Swaptober. It's one of those things where I have over 90 images, and I'm like, I don't know where to put that. So yeah,
Honestly,
I'm gonna
my
have a
man. I know you got a lot going on, but
yeah,
I wouldn't even put them up. What I would do, I would just save them and then create like a book,
art book. Yes,
like an
yes,
art book,
yeah.
and give them a
It's
timeline.
you are preaching. So I've been hearing this, man, for the past forever years that I've been going to Comic Cons. Marcus, you got an art book. Marcus, gonna put an art book. I was like, you don't know how much art I actually have. No one understands how much art I have compiled over the past 6 years, man. Because like literally 6, 7 years ago, I didn't have any of this art.
Right.
But 30-day challenges here, random stuff that I'm posting throughout the year. I'm talking about 5+ years of just generating young heroes.
Yeah.
Young heroes art has over 40 images. You know, my when I'm doing a what do you call it, like an update or my version of a brand. For instance, Abiyoye, Legend of Abiyoye, the Avatar concept. That's like 10 plus images in there. And if I did an art book, I would want to show the sketch process and how I thought about it. So I'm talking about volumes.
Seriously,
This Swaptober by itself would fill up its own volume. Like
dude,
this,
it would be like
thick.
a library, like in Harry Potter.
Yes, yes. So if I put all my art into one thing, it'd be like a dictionary. So I'm gonna have to do volumes, and I need to either buckle down and just do the graphic design myself or hire a graphic designer. If I get a graphic designer that loves to put layouts together, then I think I'm good. But no, I have the art.
Like I told you in the DM, I got some people that would help you.
Right. But it's when I say, man, I've been hearing it, I'm gonna do it. I am. It's just it's gonna be beautiful, and I'm not doing no Kickstarters, nothing like that. I'm just gonna make it available. When it's ready, I'm like, yo, it's here. Get it if you want.
Don't be like Jay Electronica, man.
No, I'm gonna just drop it. I'm gonna just drop it and be like, yo, volume 1, y'all asked for it, here it go. And it's just buy it now and ship it out to you. Yeah, it's because it's all of the art is there. It wouldn't be me drawing or creating anything.
And then Miss Bernice said, if you make a coloring book for young heroes, that would be dope.
That one would be dope, but I got to do it differently. I can take the line art from them, but in order to sell a book, I would have to probably take all of the branding.
Yeah.
The Marvel and DC and otherwise.
That costs a lot of money.
All that branding. Yeah, well, you know, I don't want to get slapped with a cease and desist. Like, oh, you making money? Yo, get that off. You know, stop all that. So I would have to redraw and rebrand or create some original stuff, but I can base it off the art. I just take the Superman symbol off, call it something else.
Yeah.
You know, super something.
But put a Timberland tree in the middle.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing.
Right.
Switch out a symbol or two, and I can do that. I can do that.
But she's Miss Bernice said my crayons are ready, so let her know.
Yes, Bernice knows what's up. Yes, I do have that. It's gonna be one more thing to add to my docket.
I know, man. You got a lot, man, and then you got Thanksgiving coming up. I know you guys are working on the next issue of Tuskegee Hair, so that's coming up. So you guys got a lot going on right now.
I need to get one robot arm right here. I need one. I got my two, right? So I can work with those. I need one more robot arm that can be
Dr. Ox.
You know, that can be working on an iPad while I'm doing this. And I think I'll catch up. And it's gonna be a lot. So.
Or you could do like Michael Keaton. Remember that movie? Was it Multiplicity?
I'll take it.
Multiplicity?
Yeah, Multiplicity. I will take a clone in a heartbeat, man. I'm telling you. Give me like 2 clones. I will tattoo 1 and 2. I'll be 0. So nobody gets confused. I'll get that tattoo the day it happens. But yeah, no, I'd probably create an animation studio if I get Multiplicity. Like, out of nowhere, Marcus has just finished his first season of Tuskegee Airs. What? Yeah. Yeah. I would do that, man. I'd take over the world with that. So, but yeah, man, it's some good stuff coming up, coming down the pipe. I'm gonna have to like schedule my life to the letter, like to the hour, if I'm gonna get all of the stuff I want done. And I'm okay with that because it has to get done. I can't be upset that I created an opportunity to create, visually important images.
Right.
And it's not that I deem them important. I've seen the reaction from young people. I've seen the reaction from marginalized audiences that don't see this stuff anywhere else. So, I've created that work, that burden
Right.
Artistically, I have something that people need to see. I'm not the only one doing it, but if I can say something about it before I leave this earth, man, I'm gonna try to, pack y'all with a whole bunch of stuff y'all can pass down to some generations beyond me and my kids and so forth. So that'll be my work. I'm okay with that.
And your work is phenomenal. And you are, I know you're a humble dude, but I'm going to say it right now, you are one of the trailblazers. And it's truly an honor and privilege
Appreciate
that
it.
I know you. And,
Same here,
behind the
man.
scenes, I get a chance to talk to you, like behind the scenes and have private conversations. So it's truly, truly an honor.
Appreciate it.
But the crazy thing, like a couple of years ago, I was like a fan of your art. Like, I'm like, yo, this dude is dope. You need to check this dude
Appreciate
out.
it.
And now I consider you like my friend. And that's
Right, right, right.
even more dope. You know what I mean? So
It's just the world of trailblazing, because you're doing the same thing.
thanks,
You're
brother.
doing the exact same thing. You have a mission, you have a goal. It aligns with my goal. So that's the trick. You just because we didn't know each other those years before, you assumed that I was somebody that was up here. I'm right here with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're blazing the same trail. I'm a fan of your work, what you're doing,
Thank you.
and highlighting and bridging gaps and bringing people to talk about is absolutely necessary. You know what I mean? So the good thing is remaining humble and understanding that, yeah, man, there's everybody's trying to get somewhere, but when we actually trail the same, we blaze the same trail together, man. Burn up the whole, look, burn the world up real quick and rechange it how we need to. And move everything out of the way together. So I'm with you, bro.
I feel you, man. I feel like I'm on my thing. Let's stop Thanos. Just blow it up and remake it.
Because that's what it's gonna take. That's
Right?
what it's gonna take. We cannot wait for someone else to feature, create, or build the foundations that we need for not just us, but the generation coming up. Talking to young people or creating the content for young eyes and viewership. If we got to do it ourselves, just do it.
Yeah.
This is the best time ever to do it. Where we don't have to get permission. You didn't have to get permission to take this conversation and talk, share it with other people, things like that, man. This is the best time ever. And hopefully what we're doing inspires other people to say, well, I can do it too.
Yeah.
And that's collectively how you change the next generation, empowering people to say, I can do what what God's been telling me to do. I can do what's been nagging me for the past couple of years. A couple of people told me I couldn't do it, but I'm seeing these people do it. Why can't I? Boom. So you change generations that way. So that's where it's a burden, man. It's a very noble, it's a noble burden. So we're gonna keep pushing.
That's right, man. And I'm
look,
looking
everybody watching, share, follow this man, and
follow
keep
you,
this man
man.
high,
I want your followers. You got what, 190K followers? Shit, give me half of that. Give me 1% of that.
keep doing what you're doing, bro. It's no way.
It's not even about the followers, to be honest with you. It's all about the mission. If the followers come, it's all good. It's all about the mission. As long as I have it out there, that information out there for people, take for what it is. It's cool, but that's what it's all about. It's all about the mission. And then another mission of mine is that I'm kind of want to focus on getting people involved in STEM. I think that's important. And I like that idea where you were talking about a while ago. We had that conversation. Like the next thing you were going to do about doing a story about scientists.
Yes.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
And so that kind of falls in line of what I'm thinking about trying to do. And I've been helping these cats out at TechFest 2020, trying to get the message out of what they're doing, because they're doing like a virtual reality where they're going to have different booths to get kids engaged in different versions, different elements of STEM.
Awesome.
So that's
all right, man.
That's the next game plan. So
look, I got my Oculus. Let me know when I can join that. I got an Oculus sitting up there.
All right.
So, I'm ready to join that one. I want to see that.
Yeah, man. So, but what it's going to be like a website. You go on the website, and there's going to be different things. But hopefully down the road, if it gets bigger, then the Oculus, the whole thing. And I think it's important. I think, especially with technology, everything is technology based, and
Right.
our kids need to know this, and they need to be, they have to learn it at an early age, because if not, they're gonna fall through the cracks.
Right. Right. And it's I think the one thing, and I think the statistics still kind of stands. Young girls they understand technology enough to use it for entertainment,
Yeah.
but they fall off at a point, and it's a societal issue. It's not just a specific demographic. Girls in general fall off in terms of these scientific and technological careers, as
Right.
if to say it's only geared for men. Only men like building computers. Only men like programming, or it's this kind of stuff. So creating those inspirations or sparks, whether it be stories, art, you name it, conversation, something has to get that interest geared more towards young ladies.
Okay.
I'm talking like fourth grade,
Yeah.
like starting at that early age to say, yeah, technology is for you too,
Yeah.
young lady. Video games is for you too, young lady. You can make your own video game.
Yeah.
What are you interested in, and things like that. So yeah, it's definitely it's an uphill battle, but it's not impossible, man.
No,
Other than
I
that, we're
think it is.
doing it. Yeah,
I think it is. But before I let you go, can you kind of tell me, because when you were talking about
yeah,
girls, and it brought to
yeah,
mind the collaboration you did with the young lady with Not Our Girls. Can you just talk about that
yeah.
fast before we go?
Absolutely. Tanil is the CEO and owner of Not Our Girls. And she is doing a campaign right now on Kickstarter. She's actually I helped her to design the superhero characters.
Can you show
I
it?
don't know if I can.
You have
Let me
it?
see if I can show it. My God, she's going to test my skills. I see. Hold on. See how fast I can get in here. But no, she's doing a wonderful, wonderful campaign, and her business focuses on
Human
helping
traffic,
to
right?
make human trafficking, absolutely, and it's to help bring awareness, but not just that. It's to say, okay, well, how can we educate young girls? How can we bring these tips, these facts to families and young girls alike? So yeah, Not Our
I
Girls.
love that. I love the hair. I love
Yeah,
it.
man. So this is the design. She came to me for the designs of the characters. Hold on, let me see how the girls here. Cycle through them here. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's
So
amazing.
yeah, superhero characters as they
I
were,
love it.
and each of them focus on elements of human trafficking,
Wow.
internet safety,
Wow.
having a loving home, and also being careful about your surroundings, things, the people that surround you. So, absolutely, man. This is the kind of stuff where if you haven't heard of her, go follow her page. She is constantly posting information. God, it's backwards. Not Our Girls. That is really helpful. She has a card game that she wants to put out with the. She actually has a car that's wrapped.
That is dope. I love
I
that.
don't put
That's
it. Look, I
gangster
don't
right
want.
there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't want to put a tag on there like that.
No, no, don't.
But yeah, man, it's really really cool. I did a brief comic strip, just a page,
I love
that
it.
talks about ride sharing, and how to check to make sure the identity of whoever's picking you up is in fact who they're supposed to be, and vice versa. If you're driving for a Lyft and stuff, you can you have a lot more tools as the rider to double check, to say, okay, I can see the license plate, I can see, a lot more information. The driver, if you've ever been picked up by Lyft and Uber, driver
Yeah.
says, "Are you Jack?"
You just
Yeah,
go in.
and they just get in the car, and
Yeah.
it's crazy how quick people are to do that, and they, again though, the driver can only, they don't get all the same information that the writer gets. The writer
Yes.
gets all of this info, type of car, license plate. You can
Everything.
call them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the driver's like, "Who are you?" "Okay, cool, get in."
Yep.
And it could be someone totally out, totally different. So That's the scary thing. So she has some cool stuff about that, but she's just doing a lot of great stuff about it. So
And
definitely go follow her page. Yeah,
yeah, and I did hit her up for an interview, so hopefully, I can have her on so she can talk about it. But I wanted you to
most definitely.
to end it with that because I think that's an important topic,
Very important.
especially, being I'm not a father, but I know guys that is father that have daughters, and I think
Yeah.
this should be a resource material that dads should for their daughters as well as their sons too. Can't exclude because
Yes, I was
sons
just about
too.
to say, yeah, you got to put the information into your, it has to be a family conversation.
Yeah,
Parents to children, children's to parents. You have to be able to open that dialogue. How do you, a, if you don't understand this is something you have to worry about, which kids are very often naive,
yeah,
but parents can be naive. I remember being in a relationship and trying to tell my lady at the time, she's coming from the gym, and she got all this, sexy gym clothes on, and everything's skin tight, and I'm like, it's 10:30 at night, and I'm gonna just stop at Kroger. I'm like, no, I'll go for you. What's the big deal? Well, I'm like,
you
I
don't
don't
know.
know. You got all this skin tight stuff on, and you look like a snack. I just don't want you to get out there at nighttime
Right,
because that's, the young lady from Not Our Girls, the one that got Tennille to call me,
right,
was pushed into a van outside of a grocery store at night. And I'm like, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter your age. These are grown men waiting for you to not be alert,
yeah,
waiting for you to not, understand the danger.
yeah,
And it has nothing to do with how strong you are. Nothing. You're just a target. Being a woman at night,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it happens during the day too. But I remember that conversation. I'm like, I don't understand. I'll go. You tell me what you want me to buy. I'll go. I'll go get it for you. You come home, be safe. I just don't want you in that position. So, unfortunately, a lot of women also don't think they're targets.
Right.
Ain't nobody gonna mess with me. What? Why do you believe that?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's one of those things. In Atlanta, I'm in Atlanta. It's a hub, sex trafficking hub
Wow.
For the country. It's a terrible, terrible situation, man. And so she has two daughters. I have a son and a daughter that are teenagers as well. So these are those things. If you haven't had that conversation,
You
man, you
got you.
really, really sit your kids down. Go on her page if you don't know how to start it. There are some great, methods to just bringing the conversation up because it does get dark. It is scary, but so is being mindful about breaking and entering if someone enters your home.
Yeah.
If you do get kidnapped,
Yeah.
that's a conversation you have to have with your
Yeah.
kids, and it's just equipping them with it. You don't have to, I guess, scare them to the point where they don't want to go outside, but it's a reality.
It's a
And
reality.
so, yeah,
And to wrap this in a bow, I think this is a great alternative to remember they used to tell us stranger danger, stranger danger. So this is a cool way to
yeah,
educate kids about stranger danger.
yeah. Because I mean, they used to have Dare. There was a program that was created by that agency at the time, but I can honestly say, man, that worked on me.
Yeah.
They showed me what a smoker's lungs look
Yeah.
like.
I
I was
remember.
in elementary. I was like, yo, that's terrible. I don't want to smoke. I'm good.
Yeah.
And it really like it was enough information for me to consciously say, I don't want that for myself, man. I'm
Right.
good. I'm good. Never smoked to this day, and there's nothing that could sway me to
Everyone.
that side. It may look cool on movies, but I'm like, nah, I'm good. I know the health, and the more
Right.
you educate yourself, you're like,
Exactly.
I don't want that. So it worked. It's just I think what Not Our Girls is going to do is very similar to what Dare did for drugs, which is at least get the information, present it to your kids, and integrate that into schools as early as it allows. So the superhero aspect of it, those girls represent those ideals. How to
Right.
protect yourself, internet security. Kids don't know anything about internet security. at all. And they're on what's the Fortnite? Then I had to get on my son. I'm like,
Yeah.
who are you talking to, homie? Oh, this is the person at my party. I'm listening.
Right.
It's a grown person. I'm like, oh, cut that off. Take your headset out. You can motion with your character, but nah, we ain't talking to nobody. No, look, no inviting friends to. No, bro, those are grown-ups.
Yep.
Nah, you're a child. Cut that shit. But yeah, it's a lot, man. Definitely, that's a whole conversation in itself. So
Right.
hopefully, I'll look. I'm a nudge to Neil to definitely get on with you because she's super passionate about that.
And
She
I
really
remember
drives
that interview
around.
which you had with her. She was like, she was going in, yo. Like
Yeah,
she
man.
had that energy, she had that fire. Like,
Yeah,
and again, she has a great mission, and I think when you have a great mission, you're passionate about everything you say because you know what you're talking about. So
right.
it comes out.
Thank you, Bernice. Thank you, Bernice, for look. I'm not even paying attention. People asking for stuff. I'm
Right.
sorry.
You got to
Thank.
hire her now. She got to be your PR.
Yes, I told her she already got a job.
No, she needs two jobs. This economy, you need more than one job.
Right. You know, she already got a job. She knows she could. Thank you, Bernice, for giving that link. I appreciate you. But dude, much appreciation, man.
You too,
Always
bro. Thanks for the
keep
love,
up the
man.
work.
All
All
right,
right,
man.
man.
All right.
Peace.